section 122, Vaisampayana continued. Thus addressed by his loving wife, King Pandu, well acquainted with all rules of morality, replied in these words of virtuous import: O Kunti, what thou hast said is quite true. Vishuddhasva of old did even as thou hast said. Indeed, he was equal unto the celestials themselves. But I shall now tell thee about the practices of old indicated by illustrious rishis, fully acquainted with every rule of morality. O thou of handsome face and sweet smiles, women formerly were not immured within houses and dependent on husbands and other relatives. They used to go about freely, enjoying themselves as best as they liked. O thou of excellent qualities, they did not then adhere to their husbands faithfully, and yet, O handsome one, they were not regarded sinful, for that was the sanctioned usage of the times. That very usage is followed to this day by birds and beasts without any exhibition of jealousy. That practice, sanctioned by precedent, is applauded by great rishis. O thou of taper thighs, the practice is yet regarded with respect amongst the northern Kurus. Indeed, that usage, so lenient to women, at the sanction of antiquity. The present practice, however, of women's being confined to one husband for life had been established. But lately I shall tell thee in detail who established it and why. It hath been heard by us that there was a great rishi of the name of Udalaka, who had a son named Shvetaketu, who also was an ascetic of merit. O thou of eyes like lotus petals, the present virtuous practice had been established by that Shvetaketu from anger. Hear thou the reason. One day in the presence of Shvetaketu's father, a Brahmana came and catching Shvetaketu's mother by the hand, told her, Let us go. Beholding his mother seized by the hand and taken away apparently by force, the son was greatly moved by wrath. Seeing his son indignant, Udalaka addressed him and said, Be not angry, O son. This is the practice sanctioned by antiquity. The women of all orders in this world are free. O son, men in this matter as regards their respective orders act as kind. The Rishi's son Shvetaketu, however, disapproved of the usage and established in the world the present practice as regards men and women. It hath been heard by us, O thou of great virtue, that the existing practice dates from that period among human beings, but not among beings of other classes. Accordingly, since the establishment of the present usage, it is sinful for women not to adhere to their husbands. Women transgressing the limits assigned by the Rishi became guilty of slaying the embryo, and men too, violating a chaste and loving wife, who hath from her maidenhood observed the vow of purity, became guilty of the same sin. The woman also who, being commanded by her husband to raise offspring, refuses to do his bidding, become equally sinful. Thus, O timid one, was the existing usage established of old by Shvetaketu, the son of Udalaka, in defiance of antiquity. O thou of taper thighs, it hath also been heard by us that Madayanti, the wife of Saudasa, commanded by her husband to raise offspring, went on to Rishi Vashishta, and on going in unto him, the handsome Madayanti obtained a son named Asmaka. She did this, moved by the desire of doing good to her husband. O thou of lotus eyes, thou knowest, O timid girl, how we ourselves, for the perpetuation of the Kuru race, were begotten by Krishna Dvaipayana, O faultless one, beholding all these precedents, it behoveth thee to do my bidding, which is not inconsistent with virtue. O princess, who is devoted to her husband, it hath also been said by those acquainted with the rules of morality, that a wife, when her monthly season cometh, must ever seek her husband, though at other times she deserveth liberty. The wise have declared this to be the ancient practice, but be the act sinful or sinless, those acquainted with the Vedas have declared that it is the duty of wives to do what their husband bid them to do, especially, O thou of faultless feature, I, who am deprived of the power of procreation, having yet become desirous of beholding offspring, deserve the more to be obeyed by thee, O amiable one, joining my palms furnished with rosy fingers, and making of them a cup of as of lotus leaves. I place them on my head to propitiate thee, O thou of fair look. It behoveth thee to raise offspring at my command, through some Brahmana, possessed of high ascetic merit. For them, owing to thee, O thou of fair hips, I may go the way that is reserved for those that are blessed with children. Vaisampayana continued, thus addressed by Pandu, that subjugator of hostile cities, the handsome Kunti, ever attentive to what was agreeable and beneficial to our Lord, then replied unto him, saying, In my girlhood, O Lord, I was in my father's house, engaged in attending upon all guests. I used to wait respectfully upon Brahmanas of rigid vows and great ascetic merit. One day, I gratified with my attention that Brahmana, whom people call Durvasas, of mind under full control and possessing knowledge of all the mysteries of religion. Pleased with my services, that Brahmana gave me a boon in the form of a mantra, formula of invocation, for calling into my presence any of the celestials I liked. And the Rishi, addressing me, said, Anyone among the celestials whom thou callest by this shall, O girl, approach thee and be obedient to thy will, whether he liked it or not. And O princess, thou shalt also have offspring through this his grace. O Bharata, that Brahmana told me this when I lived in my father's house. The words uttered by the Brahmana can never be false. The time also hath come when they may yield fruit. Commanded by thee, O royal sage, I can by that mantra summon any of the celestials, so that we may have good children. O foremost of all truthful men, tell me which of the celestials I shall summon. Know that, as regards this matter, I wait your commands. Hearing this, Pandu replied, O handsome one, strive July this very day to gratify our wishes. Fortunate one, summon thou the good of justice. He is most virtuous of the celestials, the God of justice, and virtue will never be able to pollute us with sin. The world also, O beautiful princess, will then think that what we do can never be unholy. The son also, that we shall obtain from him, shall in virtue be certainly the foremost among the Kurus, begotten by the God of justice and morality. He would never set his heart upon anything that is sinful or unholy. Therefore, O thou of sweet smiles, steadily keeping virtue before thy eyes and duly observing holy vows, summon thou the God of justice and virtue by the help of thy solicitations and incantations. Sampayana continued, Then Kunti, that best of women, thus addressed by our Lord, said, So be it. and bowing down to him and reverently circumambulating his person, she resolved to do his bidding. Thus ends the 122nd section in the Sambhava Parva of the Adi Parva.